Hello, good afternoon. For Chapter 8, we did learn, besides all the other contents of the chapter, we did learn the effective study techniques. And so from, just elaborate rehearsal to the levels of processing, self-reference effect, distributed practice, rehearsing, studying efficiently, beware of interference, keeping moving, get enough sleep, and then the use of mnemonic devices. So for me personally, I did use, I would say, like multiple of these. I kind of just, would combine them together to see what would work best for me. So for me, for any type of like readings of the chapters, I like to go ahead and read it first. Then I'll go back and instead of highlighting, I'll go back and, read that area and then try to paraphrase in ways that I understand it. Because before I used to just read it and think it stuck, but it really didn't. And I didn't really actually grasp the concept of it. So for me, after that, I would go ahead, write that down in my notebooks, and then from there, apply that either to electronic flashcards or actual physical flashcards, and then go through them all mastery of the whole like chapters or whatever contents we're learning, and then emphasis on the ones where I was struggling on or were ones where like they're not making sense to me are ones that I'm struggling on understanding the concepts. So from there, after I would go ahead and make those flashcards, that's where the rehearse would come in. And that's where I would take practice exams like through Quizlet, or I would have my family member, or again, this is another way I included something differently, which is try to incorporate like a group setting. That way, specifically people from your class, that way they can, elaborate more. If there's some topics that you might not understand, they might bring something to the table where it's like, oh, I didn't realize this, or okay, this is a different perspective on this concept. And that's something that helped me study efficiently. Other topics that I would use were beware of interference. So for me, I can't personally study with something in the background, or I can't listen to music while I study. If I can, I have to listen to like beats or instrumentals or like jazz music, because I do get that interference where I will be studying and the next I'm speaking the lyrics, or I get lost in the episode that is at hand or the movie at hand. So that's one of the other things I do use. Try to use mnemonic devices, specifically like ones that I used to use a lot were like PIMDAs, but I don't want to grasp on that to use the same thing from the chapter. We'd use SOHCAHTOA, which is sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Then you got cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then you got tangent, which is the opposite over adjacent, SOHCAHTOA. The other ones I used to use that stick to me is the metric system. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, which is kilo, hecto, deca, base units, deci, centi, milli. Some other ones that I used to use was slope, which is rise over run. Then you got the alligator for greater than, and then you got FOIL for first, outer, inner, last for binomials. So these are some of the ones that I would use personally. And each one was a little bit different. The ones I had to work on was using distributed practice, because I used to cram a lot, and I thought it was good for me, but I wasn't grasping the concepts. So I would do good on the exams and stuff, but in the long term, it didn't really stick, and it wasn't in my long term memory. So it was something I ended up having to reteach myself. So some of those are the ones, and trying to get enough sleep is tough on me as well, so I'm working on that one as well. But these were the study techniques that I had used. All right, thank you.